They say every journey starts with one step. My first step was a stumble. That started my journey. Today I continue my journey with more steps. I'm on the Mount Gretna spur of the Lebanon Valley Rail Trail. The Lebanon Valley Rail Trail is about 14 miles of rail trail in Lebanon County, Pennsylvania. It connects at its western end to the Northwest Rail Trail in Lancaster County, which is about 5 miles, which gives you about 19 miles of rail trail. This spur is partly private drive, partly walking and biking trail. I am walking past some houses on my way up to the actual rail trail. Since starting in May, I was walking on this rail trail, preparing for my first 5K. And I started from the western end in Lancaster County, and I would walk a small section and back. And if it was too far between trailheads or roads with parking, I would walk halfway and back. And it was pretty easy to finish the trail. I'm at a section now where there's about 5 or 6 miles between actual railheads. Fortunately, there's a spur part way up. Yesterday, I walked from the trailhead west of here at Colebrook, and I did a little over 2 miles. And I didn't know this spur was as close as it was, or I would have come all the way up to this spur. So today, I'm going to go back and meet where I stopped yesterday, and then head east from here and pick up some mileage so that on a future trip we can stop the next trail, head east, come back and pick up the extra miles, because I do want to finish this trail end to end. This is a brief look at the rail trail. It's a nice 2-track trail. Crushed limestone. It's fall, there's leaves coming down now. It's easy walking, it's easy biking. I've biked this trail quite a few times over the summer. I've just never walked all of it. It's well maintained, it's volunteer maintained. I'm sorry for my video quality, but I don't have a lot of fancy equipment. I'm just use my phone. I'd love to have a nice gyroscopic stabilized high quality camera with good microphones, but I don't think that's going to be happening. I'm just an average Joe. I'm not in this to make money. I'm in this to document my recovery from my stroke, as well as document my journey of a lifetime trip that I plan to take next year. So I'm just using this as physical fitness. I've changed my diet since I've had my stroke. I've cut down on fats. You don't see me at McDonald's. Lots of fruit, vegetables, fish, chicken breasts, turkey breast, more fruits and vegetables, nuts. Most of my fats come from nuts and fish, probably, which are all good fats. I will probably put in 3 or 4 miles today. I'll walk for an hour to an hour and a half. And then I'll go home. I have a bottle of water with me. You can see, just a smart water bottle. I found it inexpensive and lightweight, and they hold a quart. I've got a nutrition bar in my pocket. Sometimes if I'm quiet along this trail, I'll see some wildlife. But I'm talking today, so at most I'll probably see a few birds. Not exactly sure how far down this trail I need to go before I double back to pick up some more miles, but I'm guessing about 3/4 of a mile this direction, and then I'll double back and I'll probably go a mile or two the other direction, and that'll do me for the day. And the next time I come up to the trail, I can go to the next trailhead and come down to where I was. Right now I'm on a slight downgrade. This trail has 323 feet of elevation change, pretty much all in one grade. The ends are only a few feet apart as far as height above sea level. The grade's all in the middle, a couple of miles each way at a slight 2 or 3% grade. It's not really bad to even ride bike. You do notice it, but I have a lot of trouble climbing hills due to leg weakness from my stroke, and I really don't struggle on this trail at all. Today I'll probably, when I turn the other direction, we'll go back to I'll go up to the high point and stop and turn around. That's at mile marker 7.8. It's not well marked, but I know approximately where it is. So I'm just going to continue my walk. You can hear the dogs in the background and see the path to the house. The beautiful houses in the woods. This is Mount Gretna, Pennsylvania. It's a quaint community. It's divided in two halves, one of which was the artistic section, the Chautauqua, and the other of which was the religious area, where there stands a tabernacle, which is a huge open air, almost teepee shaped or yurt shaped building, totally supported by tree trunks that were cut, but they're still obviously tree trunks. There was a second one in the Chautauqua section of the town, which is still standing, although it was damaged a number of years ago when snow built up on the roof and part of it collapsed. There's also a ice cream shop, miniature golf courses. I believe there's a game room. It's just a nice place to spend a day relaxing, or come up and enjoy the trail. There are a few small sections of the trail, as you can see, that are shared with vehicles. I've never seen a vehicle on the trail. I guess I'm just not here at the proper times. But I'm sure they're well aware of the trail, so they take care of everyone. The trail itself, where the vehicles aren't permitted, is always... I'm still on a section of the trail that is private drive. I just went past a house. This is why, when you'll notice when I come up to this road crossing, which I don't believe actually provides any parking, there's no crossing gate, because vehicles are indeed allowed on this small section. However, it's a private drive, and it's well marked, and there is no parking here. Road crossings are marked. However, vehicles do have the right of way. As we cross the road, you will note that it is once again a blockaded section. And there's an old stone, no steel marker post. And I'll show you that it's steel, sunk into the ground with a 9 and a 13. This would have indicated that there were 9 miles the direction I'm headed, which is Lebanon. and 13 miles the other direction, which would probably be Elizabethtown, where it would have met with the Pennsylvania Railroad, for the train. This was indeed an old rail bed. If you look off to the side, you can see there's a drop-off where the railroad bed was built up. It is indeed an old railroad from the 1800s, early 1900s. At one time, Lebanon was a very industrialized and steel city, and there's also a town along here called Cornwall, which at one time had iron mines and a large iron foundry. It dates to the 1700s. That made, among other things, cannonballs. The iron foundry still stands. They give tours. It's part of the Pennsylvania Museum Commission. It's very interesting to go and see the old iron foundry, the old coke, how they made the coke to make the heat to melt the iron out of the ore. Some of the furnaces are still standing. I was just up last year. Very entertaining tour. Oh, looks like we have a puppy dog on the trail ahead of us. Probably from one of the nearby houses. There's also some occasional rest areas, and there's a squirrel running around over there. So, on we go. As you can see, I'm reaching the summit, or at least the high point on the trail. This should be mile marker 7.8 roughly. I will continue a little bit beyond this until I can find a park bench. There's benches placed frequently along this trail so that I have a landmark, so that when I return from the other direction, I will know specifically where I stopped. I know this is roughly the peak because there's still some old railroad ties laying here. And from riding this multiple times over this past summer, I know that at that point it starts to get easy to pedal no matter which direction you're headed, because it's downhill both directions. There's a pair of benches just ahead of me. I will go up, give you a quick view of what the benches look like. You may notice many fallen trees along the side. The volunteers on this trail do an excellent job of keeping it open. We've had a lot of storms lately, a lot of heavy rain. It's not too far from where you may have seen the school bus stuck in the flash flooding. We're about 10 miles from there. So they had heavy rain in this section as well. But they have these benches placed in various places along the trail. They're very convenient, and they're all donated and paid for by someone. There's one on that side, as well as one on this side. I don't have one. However, I do like to stop and rest occasionally, especially when I'm walking with my dog. When I'm bicycling, I generally only stop at the trailhead because they have restrooms. As we approach the road that we've crossed earlier, there's another remnant of the railroad history behind this park bench a steel post with a W, which would tell the engineer that this was where you should start blowing the whistle for the upcoming road, so that any one traveling the road, whether it be horses and wagons or possibly later date cars, was aware that the train was approaching. Just like grade crossings today, they didn't have crossing gates. Well, as I approach the Mount Gretna spur and head back to my truck, I guess I'd maybe explain why I walk. I walk for my heart. Good exercise. It strengthens my heart, helps my circulation, and honestly, I feel better when I exercise. Walking or bicycling, I sleep better. I'm more alert when I'm awake. I work full time, but I still try to find time to exercise. I have more energy. I feel like I get more done when I take some time out of my day to exercise. Today was 4 to 5 miles, I don't really know. Not even sure how long I've been walking. I'm gonna guess it's somewhere around an hour and a half. Today was a lot more elevation gain than I normally do. But hey, I earned this hat. It's an American Heart Association hat. And they gave it to me at the Heart Walk for the stroke survivor. I want to show those that have had strokes, although all strokes are different, everyone is affected differently. Life isn't over. 9 months ago, I was using a walker. 9.5 months ago, I was wondering if I'd ever walk. I had a doctor staring at me in the hospital telling me, you shouldn't even be here. You should have died. So, the fact that I can get up and walk, the fact that I can go out and walk is wonderful. And that same doctor told me just last week, you're doing great. I don't want to see you for a year. And I'll tell you what, that made me feel good. So, until next time, keep healthy, find your journey, go on it. Thanks.